Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on a roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on a roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Faceless Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as you guys know, if you watched this stream the past week or two, we've been having nothing but computer issues, and looks like the computer just doesn't want to accept my camera input anymore, unfortunately. OBS is launched in safe mode, guys. I don't know what to do. I'm going to order a Mac tonight, right after the stream, because we are just about fed up with these PC issues. So hopefully Steve Jobs can come to the rescue. But guys, we've got Bitcoin straight up breaking that yearly high at $49,000 as we were looking for. We got a lot to look at on the charts today, which are already up. So don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes we get, you guys get to spin on the Wheel of Pain and Pleasure on the Friday night's live stream, where we will be giving away a whole bunch of crypto. And if we get 500 likes on tonight's live stream, I'm sorry, 550 likes on tonight's live stream, we will be giving away 5 Frankie Candles hats, or we will add 5 Frankie Candles hats to that giveaway. But guys, yeah, this is brutal with no camera. I'm just going to go ahead and try to add it one more time here. It's going to be weird trying to do this stream without a face camera, but let's see. Let me see if I can get this thing to yeah, there we go. Just not gonna work, unfortunately. But at least you guys can see the charts. That is the important thing. But before we jump into the charts here, guys, let's go ahead and say what's up to the CandleMafia. We got Darren Does Things in the chat, shouting out Crimson Caravan Company. What is going on, Darren? Thank you for being here. We got Joey Grims in the chat, Medic Money, Vacation Time. What is going on? Good to see you guys in here. There we go. Vacation Time said, you guys wanted Moon. We got Moon. Shout out to Vacation Time. And shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate you very, very much. Says, hello, fam. Smash that like for the one and only Frankie Candles emoji face. The GOAT. Much love. Shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you so much for that super chat. And I'm sorry, you guys are going to have to go without my face here. I mean, maybe a good thing to some people. But let's see. We got JF Space in the chat. We got Jay Gilly, as always. What is going on? Says, it's Frankie face. Shout out to Jay Gilly. We got Beth Up in the chat and said, Cam won't Cam won't work when OBS is in safe mode. I launched it in safe mode. It's actually running in normal mode right now. I launched it in safe mode. The camera didn't work, so I launched it in normal mode, and it still doesn't work. But anyway, shout out to Beft Up, said smash those like buttons. Beft Up said it, not me. Smash that like button, guys. I don't care if you touch it with your elbow, kick it with your foot, knee it, headbutt it, touch it with your butt, creepily fondle it. I don't care. We don't judge on this channel. Just smash up that like button, guys. We got Gen Z in the chat. What is going on? And don't forget, guys, our wonderful mods. We got Tyler Durden, Rob the Crypto Snob, which, by the way, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Crypto Snog? Crypto Snob, happy birthday, bro. Guys, actually wish Rob a happy birthday in the chat. It is his legitimate birthday. I know you guys celebrate all of his fake birthdays every single day on this live stream, but it is actually his real birthday tonight. It's tomorrow. Well, shout out to Rob. Tony D. Tony D was just misleading me there. Wait, hang on. Maybe he sent me shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. His birthday is actually tomorrow, the 13th. Thank God it's not a Friday. But shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. I guess wish him a happy birthday as you guys usually do. And then tomorrow we will sing happy birthday to Rob the Crypto Snob live on the stream. Shout out to Rob. Thank you for everything you do. And I guess I don't want to say too much because we got tomorrow to celebrate. But guys, with all that being said, without further ado, we got a lot to look at here on the Bitcoin chart, so let's go ahead and jump right on into the price action. And here we are, right on. We don't even have to cut to the chart because it's already up. But as you guys know, we have been looking at. Shout out to Tony D. Thank you for the super chat. Says it's the 13th, but it's the 13th for him where he is. Wait, what? It's the 13th, but it's the 13th for him. Oh, shout out to Tony D, and shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Happy birthday. Shout out to Al Jr. says, yo, Frankie, check my previous message. It helped me. Hang on. Al Jr., why do I feel like this may be important? I don't know. I can't find it. Shout out to Al Jr. But shout out to Al Jr. Thank you for being here, guys. Let's go ahead and jump on into the charts here. Now, as you guys know, if you watch the live streams, you will know that there were some very, very interesting levels that we've been looking at here. And it all has to do with this volume profile. So let me actually go ahead and hide this value area. And you guys know, right, I am still in my long position from down here below the value area low of the range. And then we were waiting for price to reclaim this value area low, fill the rest of the range all the way up to this value area high, which is why I continue to hold my long position as we were bing-bonging around on this sideways range. I was not looking to close that short. I was looking to hold it because we did not hit that value area high, which was going to be the final target of the the trade plan there. But we were also, as we approached this level of resistance, we actually did not take the short position simply because the setup did not present itself. And when we do not get those confirmations to take a trade, guys, we simply sit out and wait for the next level, which was sitting here at the golden pocket, at the value area low, golden pocket confluence, where we also were not getting any short confirmation. So I simply was holding my long positions and waiting for higher prices. And if you guys were watching, I believe this was on Thursday or Friday's live stream, as we were sitting down here, it must have been Thursday, I was letting everybody know if you were not in a long position, kind of what I would be looking at for that next move to the upside would be the flip of this value area low from resistance to support. That was kind of the signal that I was looking at to potentially see the rest of this range fill, understanding we also had some key levels of resistance in between. But once we flipped that value area low, it became even more likely that we were going to come up and fill the rest of this range, bringing us up to that $47,000 level. And then once we got above that $46,000 daily naked point of control, this is where I was anticipating the yearly high to get broken, and that is why I was simply holding my long positions and sitting out of all the short trades that we were talking about on the live stream. And as you guys know, we are level to level traders here. We don't just take random trades in the middle of ranges. We don't take any willy-nilly trades at any level of support or resistance, but we set those traps in the market, which are our key levels of resistance or support, wait for price to approach the level, and then look for the confirmations in the level. And if we don't see them, we do not take the trade. That is how we avoid the bad trades and hold on to the winners and let them run for maximum profit. And speaking of maximum profit, let me go ahead and pull up my trades here while they load. Let me actually bring over the high block capital as well. But first, before we show the trades, guys, I do want to just talk about what we are looking at on price here. Now, this is, I want to bring it back all the way to the daily because as you guys know, recently the daily has looked pretty bearish. And this is definitely a bearish looking daily time frame, at least on Market Cipher B with our, we have the bearish divergence formed at the key level of the macro golden pocket right here where we topped out at 49K. We got the pullback that we were looking for. However, we also had money flow coming out here, which was making us anticipate a potential continuation to the downside. But you guys will also know that we were being very, very careful of a potential fake out on the money flow. And we went over this scenario many times, comparing this price action all the way to the price action back here in 2019 and also in 2020 and beyond, where we were in these strong bullish trends and getting multiple fake outs into the red on our daily money flow, as you can see all over here. Long, big money flow crossover into the green, fake out into the red, and then we came back into the green for a bigger wave, and then that basically gives us the continuation to the upside. And that was basically why I was so concerned about a fake out on the daily money flow here, had to do with basically just where we are sitting in the cycle, right? Because if you compare the touch of this macro golden pocket at 49K to 2019, we had almost the exact same thing happen where we tapped that golden pocket and then we got that one little rejection. But again, when you start to see these extremely strong uptrends like we're in right now, putting in continuous higher highs and higher lows on the higher time frames, you have to potentially anticipate, especially, at this exact time in the market, guys, because we are essentially at the point where we are leaving a pretty brutal bear market and entering into a potential another bull market. And I guess you could consider this a bull market right now, just based off the macro trend. But I always say this, typically when I am referring to the crypto bull market, I am referring to after the halving, right? So as we gear up to potentially enter this new bull run, we have to be, every little money flow crossover into the red on the daily has to be handled with caution because we are at risk of getting those fake outs. And we simply did wind up seeing that happen. And if you guys remember last week, what I was saying, I was looking for to kind of confirm that fake out was a crack of this downtrend, right? Once we started putting in a higher high, right? You can see high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and it's just trending to the downside. Once we came up and cracked this high with the wave, that is kind of me saying, hey, that looks like we could get a fake out here. And obviously, we did wind up getting a bigger move to the upside, and we have not put in a lower high. We have simply put in the higher high, which obviously is the case because we cracked the yearly high. But what does this mean, right? Now, I will say, guys, if you look at Market Cipher B, our VWAP is still coming to the downside, but the sentiment is slightly different now, right? Because we don't have money flow crossing over into the red with the red dot about to print. We have money flow coming up with the red dot about to print. However, this could potentially give us a little bit of a cool off. Now, I want to be very, very clear as I bring up these trades. I am not in a short position. I am not in a short position here. I am only in longs. I'm in the long here, the swing long that we've been in forever, up a few grand, 860%. Entry at 26,823. We've been showing this trade forever. I've been in it for quite some time. And then we are also in this Matic long. It's about a $40,000 position, up about 5,200 bucks. Negative here a little bit on fees, but that's no big deal. We got plenty to take care of that. Up 128%. Got my stop loss set. This thing is ready to go. And then we also have this other long on Bitcoin here, up 500% or up a few $1,000s here. I think throughout all the trades I have open right now, we're up about 16 grand. But this is, I am holding all of these longs, guys. I'm also in another long on another account that I don't have logged in here. But we are in these long positions. I am not in any shorts, and I am being very cautious until we approach our next levels of resistance, which are going to be, well, let's actually go ahead and cover those right now. Let me just pull up chat real quick. Shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you so much for that super chat. Says smash that like button, smash that like button, smash that like button. We got 144 likes. We're going for 550 on the stream. But shout out to Anna Maria for keeping everybody on the thank you for keeping everybody on point with these likes, Anna Maria. We need you in the Mafia. Chemistry Bro said, you're going to hold all these longs till next year, Frankie. I mean, hey, potentially. Shout out to Chemistry Bro. Potentially. I mean, I will say this. This long here, I may just hold this one for the meme. I said that in my market update earlier. This one I will probably close sooner. We are almost at our final target here. Final target for this one was about 90 cents. I will probably hold this one till I'm blue in the face because we're just going to see 26K. I mean, unless we get some kind of a black swan, I don't know if we're going to come all the way back down to 26K, but I will try to hold this as long as I can. This one's mostly for the meme, but we may be able to hold these till next year if we keep ripping here. But let's see. Shout out to Todd. Said, I like watching your videos. I'm glad you're doing your thing. Shout out to Todd. I appreciate you for being here, bro. I enjoy doing my thing as well, and that's why we're here every weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's see. Shout out to V-Slim said if you hold the trade for over a year, does it negate your capital gains tax? I am not a tax professional, so I could not guide you on that. Shout out to V-Sun. Shout out to V-Slim. Let's see. Shout out to Anna Maria said, we are the best community. Shout out to Anna Maria. Thank you for the just dropping super chat after super chat today. Shout out to Anna Maria. I appreciate you. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Cosmic said you're holding strong. Holding strong though, very commendable. And I want to be very clear. Again, like other than this trade, which is kind of being held for the meme, this long that we got in on Matic last week, as well as this long that we also got in last week, I believe. I think the entry date is on here somewhere. But these trades, guys, the reason I am continuing to hold these trades is because there is no reason to close them, right, at this moment, right? Like I said, level-to-level traders, like I would have closed these trades at this level if we got the confirmations we were looking for. And more importantly, if we got the confirmations here or here that I was looking for, would have happily closed these trades in profit and then flipped short to get the move to the downside. But as we assessed the targets here, there was no reason to close these trades. And then once we cracked that 46K MPOC, it was off to the races and up to our next target, which, was to break these, at the time, was to break these yearly highs. So why not milk all the longs for every dollar they are worth? But let's see. Yo, shout out to 12 Big says he's putting makeup on. Relax. Shout out to 12 Big. But continuing on here, guys, the question remains, how high can we go, and will we likely continue higher, or are we ready for a pullback? And that is why I bring up a few different things. Taking a look at the daily here, red dot looking to print. This is likely going to be the thing that gives us a little bit of a pullback if we get it. The question is, how far can we pull back? We'll take a look at the local levels of support in a minute, but I just want to let everybody know, being somewhat cautious up here, just based off this red dot on the daily, on top of the fact that if you come on over to the 90-minute, our money flow is also coming out as well, right? And oftentimes when you get that money flow on the 90-minute ready to cross over into the red at the same time as a red dot printing on the daily, that could give you a significant move down. And if we come back to the 90-minute, you can see this was indeed the case up here. Last time we got that pump to 49K, you could see this 90-minute money flow crossover into the red right here was essentially the thing that wound up giving us the bigger move to the downside. And the reason for that was because it was lined up almost perfectly with, let me resize here. It was lined up almost perfectly. Let me unhide the TA here, with this red dot on the daily, right? So you got the red dot, the money flow crossover into the red, and that's where you got the bigger move down. So we are potentially seeing something very similar happen where we have that money flow on the 90-minute coming out. Now, it's not that close to crossing over into the red, but this would be a significant, if you get that money flow crossover with the daily red dot, I would be looking for a bigger move to the downside. Now, with that being said, what are the next targets to the upside? Well, guys, if you watch the live streams, it's not that crazy, right? They're not that unpredictable, these targets to the upside, and it has everything to do with the volume profile, specifically on the buy bit chart. Now, when we take a look at our macro range from the top of the bull market here, and we extrapolate those value area levels, the value area high, the POC, and the value area low, this is where we get our next target, right? And as you guys know, we rejected the POC here as expected to get turbulent around that point of control, as this is the area where the most volume was traded, making it a very, very strong level as well as a magnet for price. So as we got the rejection here, and now what are we doing, right? Let's come over to the 4 hour. what have we done? We have broken above and tried to flip it to support, which opens up the door to potentially come up to our higher targets, which number one is sitting up here at $50,776, which is a daily naked point of control as well as a fresh weekly level. If we pull up the weekly time frame, you guys can see it is simply just a weekly horizontal level from right here on top of a weekly naked point of control. So that is indeed going to be the next target to the upside, again coming in at $50,776. Now, if we are able to get above this level and break to the value area high at 54,467, this would be the more macro target in my opinion, because I mean, if we look at the volume profiles, I think you guys know, the Mafia knows, once you flip that value area low to support, the next stop is going to be the POC, and then once you're able to flip that POC, you are going to be looking for that value area high, but we have to understand that there are other levels in between where we're at now and that $54,467 level, and that naked daily point of control at 50,776 is the most local next level to the upside. So this will be the next area I will be looking for scalp shorts at. However, I'm going to be handling this with much care because if we do not get the confirmations here, guys, it is going to be much more likely to come up and fill the rest of this range to the value area high. And simply put, that's what we're looking at, guys. Like, it's really funny. I was talking to Tony D talking to Tony D earlier today, talking about the thumbnails. Now, I always say, you can't just look at a YouTube thumbnail and take your you can't just look at a thumbnail and just like use that for your sentiment. However, our thumbnails seem to be the crystal ball. We have the 45K incoming, then the 50K incoming, and both of those targets were hit like the day after or the next stream. So pay attention to the thumbnails, guys. I'm just kidding. Do not take the thumbnails. Take the thumbnails with a grain of salt, guys. You have to watch the videos. You have to watch the streams to understand my actual sentiment. We could have the most bullish thumbnail ever, and I could be bearish, right? They're just thumbnails. But it is funny. It does seem like we were just looking through the studio at all the thumbnails, and I'm like, it's literally like the next day, the thumbnails are basically just calling for the next price. Let's see. Shout out to V-Slim said, yeah, Taylor Swift won the Super Bowl. Woohoo! Shout out to V-Slim. Let's see. Let's continue on. Shout out to Dave Digital. Welcome in, Dave. Thank you for being here, bro. We appreciate you. You're always like laying low under the radar there with that new PFP, bro. He says, if you want to trade, wait for the range, identify the value area low, wait for the deviation below. If a bull div, identify the bull div and go long to the POC. This is a very effective, simple trading strategy. Shout out to Dave Digital. That is what I like to hear, bro. I can't argue with that strategy, if you know what I mean. Shout out to you, bro. And then shout out to Pepe Day Friendly says 57K incoming question mark. Potentially, at some point, eventually we will hit 57K, and it is actually just above this value area high. So, I mean, like I said, next targets to the upside, guys, in my opinion, are going to be the daily naked point of control and the value area high right here at 54.4. However, if we do get a move up here and we start deviating outside of that value area, you don't have to go much higher to hit that 57K level. But we will be very careful up at these levels, guys, because this is where you're going to be looking for potential short positions. Understanding the context of the market, right? Not looking to short this thing back down to zero, because obviously the halving and the bull run are right around the corner. But we can definitely look for some. Who just said? Somebody recently, someone like 2 minutes ago just said, every time you say but, it freaks me out. And I just did it again. I'm sure he jumped. But I forget who said that. Let me know. Yeah, that is basically what we're looking for, guys. And these are all levels we've been looking at on the live stream for quite some time. And if you watch these live streams, it's like you don't even have to do the TA. You can just watch the show, figure out what we're looking at, and then we basically just check in on the next day and see if we were right or wrong. And for a while now, we have just been absolutely nailing these calls. Not right 100% of the time, obviously, but we are definitely right more than we are wrong. But those are the next levels I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Now, I do want to talk about a little bit of why some other reasons why I'm expecting higher. Again, not only is the value area high, which would be the final target of this value area, right? So you go from the value area low to the POC and then up to the value area high. However, There are some other reasons to potentially wait for higher prices as well, being that we have this confirmed green dot on the weekly time frame. This is indeed going to likely give us a bigger move to the upside. As long as we don't see, we got to get out of the water here with this red dot on the daily. So I am being a bit careful up here, even if we don't tap this level. Depending on when we get this red dot on the daily, this could be a sign of a cool off. But again, the context has changed, right? If we get that red dot on the daily, I am not necessarily expecting an instant dump to the downside, a break of the lows, and I might not even be expecting those lower prices at 34.4 that we were originally looking at, because remember, to hit those prices, the thought process or the theory or trading plan, so to say, was to get a lackluster pump back to the upside and put a lower high in here between the golden pocket and the 786 to put in a lower high, continue our downtrend, break the lows here, and put in a lower low. But the context of the market has changed here, right? Because we have broken the yearly high, and now we have put in another higher high on price action, which makes it, we're not looking for that lower high and macro downtrend to start anymore. So if we do get that pullback off the daily red dot, I will be looking at this more of a healthy pullback before a continuation to the upside. And you might be asking yourself, well, Frankie, where should we be looking at to the downside if we are going to get that pullback? And simply put, guys, there's a few levels I'm looking at here. And number one, you want to watch that wick high at $49,048 because, if we flip that to support, that would be somewhat significant. However, if we do get a bigger breakdown, I will be looking at the daily naked point of control, which technically at this point is not naked anymore. You guys will know this was our last target to the upside before breaking the yearly high. It's a daily naked point of control at 47,850. And what happened, right? We broke out of our value area, rejected that level, and then flipped it to support. And then right after flipping it to support is where we got the break of that yearly high. So that's why we look at these naked points of controls, guys, because they are some of the most important levels of resistance and support that you could look at. So if we do come down, naturally, I will be looking at the yearly high or the previous yearly high, as well as this naked point of control. And then just really naturally, guys, below us, we have this value area. And if we get all the way back down to 46, 47K, this is where you can look at this as your context, right? Or you can look at this as your roadmap to where price will go next. Because if you don't get the bounce off the value area high and you get stuck underneath it, that's where you're looking to fill the range back down to the low. Just like when we flip the low, we look to fill the range to the high. It's the same thing on the way down, which is why the volume profiles are so nice, because they give you so much dang insight and context. It's like a roadmap to where price can go. Shout out to Dave Digital. Obviously, this long position that this long position that we're in with the premium Discord, this was entered using the exact strategy that basically Dave was talking about, was waiting for the deviation below the range. Remember, guys, this is an undervalued asset. You could think of your value area as the fair value. This is where price has agreed upon a fair price, right? And then when you're above that level, it's overbought. And when you're below that level, it's oversold, right? And when you have an oversold or undervalued asset, why not pick some up cheap and then ride it back into the fair value and potentially beyond and sell it at a higher price? And again, it has everything to do with looking for those deviations below the value area low or above the value area high before finding the confirmations. And, again, we had money flow coming up here on the 4-hour. This is the backbone of our trading strategy here, is the volume profiles and the idea of deviating above or below them to give us a signal of an overbought or oversold asset. So we can know if we're buying cheap Bitcoin, likely buying cheap Bitcoin, or buying expensive Bitcoin. So with that being said, guys, this is what we're looking at, right? Now, another thing to be aware of is I would have loved to come and push up into this next key level at 50,727. However, we are starting to put in some bearish divergences with our higher highs on our price action and our lower highs on our momentum waves. This is on the 4-hour. Now, I am not shorting based off of this, but this is a potential local sign of a cool-off incoming. And the reason I point it out is because if we do wind up seeing some of these divergences, you could even see it here on the 2-hour with our higher highs on price action, lower highs on our momentum waves. And, if this does wind up confirming, your VWAP on your 2 hours is about to give you a red dot as well, which would be a sign of a cool-off. But if you do wind up getting the cool-off here and we get the pullback, the dangerous part here is if we pull back, that daily red dot is lingering, right? This daily red dot is like about to print. So if we get this printing tonight, that could be a sign of a little bit more of a cool-off. But now you guys have those key levels to the downside that you should be watching. And again, like the most important level, in my opinion, is going to be that value area high at 47.22 because breaking that level opens up the doorway to lower prices. But other than that, guys, I am simply sitting in my longs and waiting for a more clear signal to either take a short or potentially just take more profits on my actual long positions. All right, let's see. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo said, "Oh my God, I got so excited. I thought he was coming back to us. Baby, he didn't wash his clothes, so he's naked." Or maybe she said, maybe she meant to say maybe, and doesn't want us to peek. Shout out to Nikki94 Boo. Well, nobody will ever know if I'm wearing clothes or not because you guys can't see me, and I'm just going to leave that for the imagination. Shout out to Vacation Time said the second half of February tends to be bearish for the overall markets historically. And the one thing I will say is this daily, guys, this daily red dot, although our sentiment has, or not our sentiment has changed, but my sentiment on looking for the lower high here before getting a bigger move down, although that is not really the sentiment anymore because we have definitely broken this high, which is much more bullish, but it could easily give us a little bit of a cool-off, right? And then if we wind up getting a bigger move down, and then maybe it could turn a little bit more bearish. But as of right now, I just want to be clear. If we do get a pullback, it is not the same sentiment as last week. It'll be, in my opinion, at first, I will treat it as a potential healthy pullback until we really start breaking down to lower prices. And then we can reassess the situation and see how likely it is for us to actually get a bigger move down. But for now, simply sitting in the longs, letting price action do its thing, waiting for that potential higher target to get hit at 50,727, and maybe even that buy bid value area high at $54,439. Let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital said, "Please come back, Mrs. Candles. Frankie needs clean pants." Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. Mrs. Candles is back in the ATL, guys. She's home. She was sorely missed, but she is back, and the clothes are clean. And I've actually barely seen her since she got back. I got her last night. But yeah, she just we're probably gonna go out to eat tonight. Catch up on all the fun New York stories. I'm sure she has a ton. But let's see. Shout out to Cosmic Com said, "Why are there so many naked people in the chat?" Guys, put some pants on, my people. Let's go, Mafia. Put some clothes on. But, guys, let's continue on here. That is what we're looking at on Bitcoin. Super exciting to see the yearly high broken. And, again, I was talking to the premium Discord talking about if you guys have taken anything away from these live streams in the past couple weeks, I hope you guys have taken away how important it is to be a level-to-level trader, or I should say not how important it is, but how effective it could be to be a level-to-level trader. Because what we do by being a level-to-level trader is simply we open up we open up the opportunities to many opportunities to make money, right? We have so many opportunities because we're looking at all of these levels. But we're not just gambling on the levels, right? We wait. If you do not get the confirmation, we sit out. That, number one, keeps you out of bad early short positions. And on top of that, it also will allow you to hold your actual long positions or your good trades for longer and let those winners run. So I hope you guys understand that and have seen this play out over time throughout all of these live streams. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here, brother. Let's see. Fun fact, I actually am naked. Only got my socks on. True story. Shout out to Boots. My imagination's running wild now. Shout out to Boots. But we got 854. We have 844 people in here right now, guys. Smash that like button. We're going for 550 on tonight's live stream. Bitcoin's at 50K. I think we'll be able to get 550 likes. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into Ethereum. And if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, if you guys want to see me take a look at your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in chat. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and pick the lucky 3 altcoins that we're going to take a look at. But in the meantime, guys, we are going to take a look at Ethereum as well as Matic and potentially XRP. And then whatever ones you guys want to see, we will take a look at as well. Let's see. Yo, some of these chats, bro. Let's see. That day chart looks swing worthy. Shout out to Jesse Ray. But let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum, guys, as I take off my We'll talk about naked. I'm taking off my sweatshirt here. It's getting kind of hot. Shout out to Harry Potter. Thank you for getting that Frankie Candles, gifting those Frankie Candles memberships. Let's go. Who got it? Who got it? Shout out to Boots. Boots got the free membership. Let's see. Creighton C says, thank you for the super chat. Well, he didn't say that, but I said it. He said, you got her last night. What exactly does that mean? Are we talking Superman and Wonder Woman? Shout out to Creighton C. Underoos and pillow fights. Shout out to Creighton C. No, we might have a pillow fight tonight, though. You never know. Let's see. Jerome says, hey, man, can you confirm what you mean by confirmation? Sure. Well, it does depend on exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when I refer to confirmations, like a reason why I did not take a short trade here was because I did not get the confirmations. It's not really a black or white answer. It's really situational. There are very specific confirmations that we look for on most trades, but those confirmations that you might look for here may not be the same confirmations that you look for here. But an example of a confirmation would be something like a lower term or a lower time frame entry signal, right? So if we're looking at this value area, and if I pull up my long position that I'm in right now, what I would look for, our basic trading strategy, right? You have this range, which lets us know this is a fair price for Bitcoin. And then when you deviate, this is an oversold Bitcoin, right? If it's used to being traded up here, or it's accepted that this is the fair value and you're trading below that, the idea is to look for a bullish confirmation as you deviate below the range, because you are likely going to flip this level to support once more, get accepted back into the range, and get a move up towards the high. And I'll give you an example of what an example of a confirmation would be like. If you were deviating below this range and you were seeing something like a bullish divergence. Now, I want to be clear. I wouldn't just enter a trade because I see a bullish divergence. I would like to see other confirmations as well. But like I said, they're all different for every different trade. But, an example here would be, if you come over to, let's see, try to find something that gave you an actual, so like right here, you would get the, oh my God, man, this computer is a mess, man. Come on. Just spawn the volume. Good Lord. I don't even have anything open. I don't even have ExoCharts open. This thing is struggling. So for this trade right here, you get a breakdown below the value area, and then simply put, you wind up putting a you don't even really have a bullish divergence here, but you have one right here. So actually, I think you have one on the 1 hour as well, potentially. Let me see here. Yeah, okay, so and here the volume's not spawning once again. Guys, I may end this stream early just to order a computer. But this is, like right here, you deviate below the range. This is where you'd be looking for your confirmation to go long. My entry was just about right here. But what do you have going on here? You simply have lower lows on your price action with higher lows on your momentum waves, giving you that bullish divergence, letting you know that there is likely going to be at least some kind of a reversal to the upside. But in this certain specific case, you have money flow coming up on the 1 hour on Market Cipher B, letting you know that that trend may be ready to reverse back to the upside, which would increase the chances of you getting accepted back into this range and then going up to the POC, as you see here, and then eventually and potentially up to that value area high. In this specific case, we got teased around for quite some time. I mean, I was holding this long through this dump, through all of this turbulence, simply just waiting for that value area high to get tapped. And sure enough, almost every single time, even if it's messy like this, sure enough, you do wind up getting to that value area high at some point. But not 100% of the time. I want to be very clear. But that is an example of a confirmation, but it's not the same for every trade. It really depends on the context. But for that specific trade, that was one of the confirmations I was looking at, was a bullish divergence, amongst other things. So hopefully that helps you out, brother. Hopefully I was able to learn you something there, and hopefully it helps you out. Let's see. Shout out to V-Son. I can't read that out loud, but you're funny, bro. Shout out to you. There you go. Jerome said, thanks, Frankie Candles. Of course, bro. I am here to help you out. But with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into Ethereum, or Erythrium, as your grandmother might call it. And guys, Ethereum may or may not be doing exactly what we wanted it to. Now, as we take a look here, let me pull up the daily time frame. And simply put, guys, if you guys had seen my Ethereum video from 2 weeks ago, I believe it was posted. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It was posted about a month ago, I believe. Shout out to Tony D for letting me know that that was posted a month ago. We were talking about that in the premium Discord. But about a month ago, guys, we were looking to we got to move into our value area low. Now, let me give you the context first, right? Now, the context here is the simple fact that we are approaching. Let me reorganize this or reshape this so you guys can see. We are reapproaching this area of consolidation, which gives us this value area low, POC, and value area high up here. And we knew that if we started knocking our head on that value area low, that we would eventually, if we were able to peak above it, it opens up the door essentially to fill the rest of this range up to the value area high and point of control. And we snuck up here, right? And that's where we were looking for a little bit of a cool, or I was hoping for a cool off. And then we did indeed get that cool off. We came back down into the previous range down here where we returned back to the value area low where you would be looking for longs to potentially get into a long position. I want to be clear, I am not in a long on ETH at the moment. However, the thought process here was to get a pullback, look for a long down here. That's why these blue boxes are down here. Fill the rest of this range, potentially get a breakout. But the big news here, guys, is that we are back above the value area low of the range. Doorway to higher prices, right? So now that we're above this level, as long as we remain above this value area low, this will keep the door open to some of these higher prices with the first level of local resistance simply being the yearly high, right? Sitting at $2,717. And then once we are able to get above that level, that is where we could start setting our eyes on the top of this range, getting closer to 3,100 to 3,183, where we have our value area high. And, you know, we've been looking at this for quite some time on the channel. And simply put, patience, guys. It is all about patience. You do not have to see your trades play out in 1 day, a minute, 5 minutes, 2 weeks. Simply put, we wait for the levels to get broken until we are able to use the volume profiles to figure out what the context of the trade would be. And that is where we expect, that's how we're able to figure out where price is likely to go next. So right now on Ethereum, I'm actually going to change this, get rid of this fib. And as of right now, guys, I'll actually go ahead and pull this Fibonacci, and I'll actually turn this into a blue box like that. And if we do come back down, if we do come back down, guys, you want to hold this value area low, golden pocket 786, and if we're able to, that is what will open the door to the higher prices between 31 and 31.83. And to be quite honest with you guys, we probably could get a little bit higher than that. However, we're pretty far away, so I'm not going to bring up those targets just yet. But again, you know, just simply waiting and seeing the plan play out on Ethereum. And if you guys have not seen that video on our full thoughts on Ethereum, go ahead and check it out. It's on the channel. One of the mods may have dropped it in here. Let's see. Oh, Kelly Kellum in the chat. What is going on, Kelly? Thank you for popping in, bro. Good to see you. How about this crazy price action, bro? Let's get it. But Rob the Crypto Stop said, pin my next comment. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you. Look at this man working on his birthday. Oh, wait, hang on. I think Tony D already pinned it. Yo, Tony D. Don't be so quick, bro. How are you so quick with the hands? They don't call him Tony Fast Fingers for nothing, guys. They call him Tony Fast Fingers for more than one reason. But anyway, shout out to Tony D. Tony D, actually, speaking of the devil, says Discord announcements. Oh, boy. All right, guys, hang on. I'm going to pull up my face cam. I know you guys can't see my face, but I'm just going to do that in case I have any DMs open. I don't want to leak anybody's private conversations. Actually, I did get some nice DMs this morning of people thanking me for showing them the way of the candle. It's always nice getting those DMs. This is it's the coolest thing in the world. So let me just pull this up really, really quickly. Let me see. Discord announcements. And, okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, let's see. Okay, yeah, guys, shout out to the dining room. This is actually very, I guess it's kind of important, but we are adding a new, We're adding some new value to the dining room, guys, and it's gonna be saucy. You guys can see we added altcoin alpha here. This is gonna be run by, we have a dedicated person in here running some really, really fire altcoin gems. Now, obviously, this is never financial advice, but let me just read through the announcement really quickly. So, yeah, he said, or no, this is the dining room announcement, but yeah, you may have noticed a new altcoin alpha channel. Check the announcements. Okay, well, I'm just following along to Tony's original chat. So, yeah, there's a new channel that was added to the dining room. Altcoin Alpha will be the place where you can go to for new developing projects and continued developments, updates on existing projects. The channel will be run by @S, who's a weird Discord privacy thing. He's very knowledgeable and very much in the weeds with this type of stuff, and hope he can bring some extra value to the dining room. He will simply be sharing his research and thoughts on the projects. You are still urged to do your own research, and remember that none of this is ever financial advice. We are not financial advisors. We are just sharing our fun research that we'd love to do with you guys, hoping it can aid you in your research. But his role is altcoin Appassionato. Shout out to Tony for making that role, which portrays his enthusiasm and passion for the realm of crypto. And that is said, Appassionato. Come on. But anyway, yeah, shout out to that, guys. If you're not in the dining room, definitely get in there. These are going to be where you probably are going to look for these low cap gems, these multiple, 20x, 10x, no promises, but that's where you're going to find these new altcoin alphas, as well as the airdrop watch token metrics channel, where we drop all these token metrics, all the token metrics sauce, letting you know what token metrics is bullish on, as well as your premium weekly TA post from the premium Discord, so you can get just a little bit of a taste of what we do in that premium Discord. And you never know when those little long setups or short setups will wind up playing out. But anyway, guys, with all that being said, thank you to Tony for bringing that up. I would have never announced that if you were not here reminding me. But before we jump into the rest of these altcoins, guys, which are going to be Matic, XRP, Pyth, SEI, and AVAX, let's just shout out to Cursive Crypto. Said, love you, Frank. Could you please do some TA on Ordi? I'm a small whale. My biggest bet I have placed for this bull run. Yes, we could try to take a look at Ordi for you, brother. Shout out to Cursive Crypto. Thank you for that super chat. We'll try to take a look at that for you. And let's go ahead and shout out to V-Slim. But anyway, guys, let's go ahead and move on to Matic. Now, as you guys know, obviously, I am in that Matic long. And I'm not going to go over the trade breakdown. I already done that. But one thing I do kind of want to point out here is how I use the volume profiles to actually give me context into why I should be holding this trade. Now, let me come on down to the 45-minute, and I was essentially looking at this as a couple of different value areas. And we did look at this briefly on a previous live stream, but just to go over it super, super quickly, we have this little area of consolidation here, guys. This is where I was looking for my entry. Let me actually pull the trade up right now so I can that is not what I wanted. Wow, okay, yeah, so just everything just crashes. That's wild. Okay, so here we are. So here is the long. My entry was at 78.39, right? So come over here. 78.39. It was somewhere below this value area is where I entered, letting me know that it was going to be more likely than not that we would return back to the value area high, which did wind up happening. But the thing I want to actually show you guys here, I'm probably going to have to re-pull this. Okay, there we go. But not only was I looking at this value area, it's just like I was showing you before on Bitcoin. I waited for the deviation below the range. I found my bullish confirmation down here below the range in anticipation of coming back into the value area and coming up to the value area high. Now, this is the basic plan for that trade, or was the basic plan for that trade. But another reason why I was looking to take this was because we also were inside of this more macro volume profile, and thinking to myself as I entered the trade, well, hey, if I can get up to that value area high, that would be a nice little scalp. But if I can break out and continue outside, break out of this value area, I know I have the point of control of this more macro range just above. And what do we always say about the POCs, guys? They act as magnets for price. So that is where I was looking to hold. Once we broke out of here, I was looking to hold this trade into the POC And then letting the premium Discord know that if we could see this continue to run, our final target, or not final target, but our next major target could be the value area high of the macro range, which is sitting right here at 90 cents or 89 cents, almost 90 cents, which is eerily close to where we are on our way to now. And I get a lot of comments here like, Frankie, you literally have a crystal ball. Do not lie to me. You know where price is going. Tell me how you do it. And I tell them every time. I show you every single weekday, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I show you guys how we do this analysis. And not only that, but essentially exactly what I'm looking at to get into the trades, right? We don't give it away in real time because that wouldn't be fair to the people in the premium Discord, especially if it's a trade that we're taking, which this was a setup that we put in the premium Discord. Quite honestly, if we pull this up real quick and we come on over to the Alt TA in the premium, this is all... this is just to kind of show you guys when we first looked at this trade, this was the first kind of signal that I was looking at. We were looking to enter down here, again, at about 78 cents, looking to fill the rest of this range, understanding that we had the more macro range, this bigger range, looking to come to the POC value area high. Now, the reason I love this strategy, guys, is because it is so... to me, it clicks, right? Like for me, the volume profiles are one of the biggest thing that made everything come together for me because this gives me context locally to enter. And then when I zoom out, this can give me more macro targets. And it just makes sense. It's like ranges within ranges and you're never lost, right? Because you can just look at the volume profiles if you're confused. So with that being said, question is, where is price likely to go next on Matic if we weren't looking at these volume profiles? And the fact that, another reason why I was looking to enter was because I already knew that I deviated below the macro volume profile and have already gotten inside of that bigger range, letting me know that once we were above this value area low, we were likely to continue up to that value area high anyway, right? And this was kind of like on Bitcoin, this is where I entered my long position on Bitcoin if you're looking at structure, right? Like this is basically the same area I entered my Bitcoin long, and then you get above that value area low, you're expecting to eventually get up to the high. I found that local context of this range, found my entry, and now we're almost at that value area high. And that is how you see a trading plan play out from A to Z. But the next likely place for price to go here, guys, is probably going to be the value area high at 89 cents, almost 90 cents. And we are very, very close. Other than that, not much to look at here. I would be very cautious of a pullback at this value area high for one very specific reason. 6 hour, looking for a potential bearish divergence. Now, this is not only going to happen on the 6 hour, likely going to happen on the 4 hour as well if we get up to this level. Even if you don't get up to that level, you're likely going to have those divergences anyway, which could potentially give you a pullback. But I would love to come up and tap this key level of resistance. And if we did get those bearish divergences, that might be a great time to maybe take some of your profits or look for a scalp short position. And then coming up to the higher time frames, guys, on the weekly, this was just another thing that was on our side for this trade last week, and that was simply the fact that we had the weekly green dot about to print, and here it is, printing in all of its glory, assuring that we could potentially get some more upside. And if we break out of this bigger volume profile, you might be thinking to yourself, well, where are you going then? Where are you going to go then, huh, smart guy? And to that, I say, just zoom out. Where's that next volume profile? Right here, starting at $1.06. If we're able to get that bigger breakout outside of this value area and get a bigger move up, we'll be looking to flip that level to support and then look for the same thing, looking for those range fills to the upside. And that is Matic. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Ginger shots. Now, that's a hunting sport I'd like to practice. I don't know. I actually used to do ginger shots on the live stream. Shout out to Boots. It's actually pretty disgusting. The ginger shots are brutal because some of them have cayenne pepper in them, and it's wild. All right, let's see. Crypto Billy said SF hits the extra point. Game over. So crazy. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's see. Tyler Durden said, when are we doing Matic, TA? Shout out to Tyler. I think we're going to skip Matic today. I'll be honest with you. Okay. Shout out to Anna Maria. Said, can we look at Pyth first, Frankie? I got to go. I mean, we just do what Anna Maria says. We just we don't ask questions. We just listen. Shout out to, I'm just kidding. Shout out to Anna Maria. I guess not really kidding, but shout out to Anna Maria. Let's go ahead and check Pyth or Pith, as some people call it. And here we are. Let's see. Actually, I guess we could probably clear some of this stuff. We can clear this, clear this, clear this, clear this, Clear that. Clear this. Okay. Well. Okay. So on Pyth, what I would be looking at here, Anna Maria, getting that green dot on the 4-hour. Take a look at the daily. Daily's looking kind of similar to Bitcoin. Now, I don't know how much weight I would put on this bearish divergence, but you do have a red dot looking to potentially print here. There's not a lot of information on Pyth on the daily, to be honest with you. Take a look at the 8-hour. Let's see. Yeah, 4-hour green dot looking to print. So you may be able to push up a little bit more locally here. Flip that daily naked point of control into support. That is a good sign. I mean, just naturally, guys, what I would be looking at here, you're probably coming up to some, you got the 786 retracement. I would be just naturally careful of a 4-hour bear div here. If you come higher, put those higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. Give you that potential pullback as you hit that 786 once more. But that is basically what I'd be looking at on Pyth. Other than that, there's not a lot of information on the higher time frames. Lower time frames are kind of chopped up, to be quite honest with you. So you may want to actually look at this more local volume profile. All right, so you're sitting at that value area high. You deviated from the low, got back into the value area. Are you guys seeing how these volume profiles play out? Right? You deviate from the low. This is where you look for the long entry. You get in anticipation of coming back into the range, flipping the value area low to support, coming to the POC, and then eventually the value area high. And now what's happening right now? You deviated outside the value area high, and now you are getting stuck inside of the range. Oh, now you're trying to pop out. But if you are able to get the bearish confirmations up here as you push up, you got to be careful of that 4-hour green dot, which is why I was saying watch out for that 4-hour bear div potentially. However, these are the levels that I would be looking at, right? If you keep pushing up here and you put that 4-hour bear div in, and you could get some, maybe even some local confirmations above the volume profile, right? I mean, this could be like you push up. You could even get this like little 12-minute bearish divergence locally on top of the 4-hour bearish divergence that you would just naturally be printing at that point. And then that might be your signal to potentially either look for a short or just wait for a pullback. But that's what I'd be looking at on Pyth. Other than that, there's not too much information on the higher time frames for me to make any legitimate longer term calls. But that is basically what I'd be looking at. So this little range, value area high at 56 cents, value area low at 54.81, POC sitting at 55.93. So shout out to Anna Maria. Hopefully that helps you out. Lovely. There you go. So that is kind of what I would use for context, not only on the lower time frames, but also the higher 4-hour. Let's see. Let's see. Of course, Anna Maria, I got you. That is why I am here. Glad I was able to help you out. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next altcoin, which is going to be naturally XRP. Take a look at that bits. Actually, let's take a look at this XRP chart, which is the Binance chart. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for the super chat. He said, Frankie, I do not promote gambling. However, this super chat is from my MGM gambling winnings from last night. Shout out to Crypto Crabman. Thank you so much, bro. Look at that. You get a win and you share it with your people, bro. I appreciate you so much for that. I don't promote gambling either, but shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate you and congrats. What'd you win? What were you playing? I'm not even really I'm not a big gambler, to be honest with you. People hear that I'm a trader, and they're like, how do you not gamble, dude? You're a trader. And I'm like, because trading does not need to be gambling. But yeah, Givers Gain. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Let's go. But yeah, let me know. What were you playing, bro? What did you wind up winning? Let me know. But let's go ahead and continue on. Taking a look at XRP, guys. And what were we looking at on XRP last week? Simply put, guys, this thing is going to bore us to sleep. Woo, baby. So yeah, we got our move, right? From the previous value area low down to the POC, back above the value area, bing bong around here, acceptance into the range, down to the POC. I mean, XRP has done nothing since the last time we looked at it. We were just looking to maybe bing bong around the value area high and the POC. And that is exactly what we are seeing happen right now. Other than that, there really is not much going on here with XRP, right? Like, key level of support remains this blue box, ending at about 48 cents, right? If we break below that and can't flip it back to support, I'm going to be looking for a bigger move down to the value area low at 44 cents. And I'm not really looking for any higher prices until we crack the value area high, basically until we crack 55 cents. And shout out to Jay Gilly. Let's go. Shout out to Jay Gilly. He says, I stole this from my wife's purse. No way, bro. Shout out to Jay Gilly, bro. You're a boss. Let's go. Sometimes you got to get that super chat money any way you can to show your boy Frankie Candle some love. Shout out to Jay Gilly. You're the man. But let's see. Gen Z saying, I'm glad I never DCA'd into XRP. Yeah, I will say this, guys. I've said this many times recently. Listen, I got a big bag of XRP. I've accumulated most of my XRP from before the actual lawsuit. So, it's kind of like it's a moon bag for me at this point, right? If XRP went to zero, I wouldn't even really feel like I lost any money because I've been holding it for so long anyway. So yeah. And shout out to Crypto Crab, man. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, had to do it. Jay Gilly, Jay Gilly stole this from your wife's purse. Shout out to Crypto Crab, man. Jay Gilly, tell your wife to hide her purse. The mafia's coming to stick their hands in it. Let's go. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, we're back at 50K, guys. And like I said, I am not shorting this. Even though this, I will say this, like the pullback, like not that we can't pull back, like this 4-hour bear div, if we do get a pullback, it's likely going to be off this 4-hour bear div. But it's not like I'm just shorting that blindly, right? I'm being very cautious. But yeah, back at 50K. Thanks, Dave Digital, for keeping us on our toes here. All right, let's see. But yeah, for XRP, guys, like, I hate to be the guy, but nothing really too exciting going on here for XRP until we break that 55-cent level or until we break this 48-cent level. And shout out to Boots. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. He said, when BTCTA, I'm a small sperm whale. Thanks, big boy. Yo, shout out to Boots. Shout out to you, bro. And shout out to all the sperm whales out there. Not as big as a humpback, but still sizable. And shout out to Harry Potter for the super chat. Thank you, bro. He says, that's bad. Stealing from your wife. Shout out to Harry Potter. Yeah, protect your wife's purse at all costs. I wish I could steal out of Mrs. Candle's purse. She steals out of my merce, I guess you would call it, or my wallet, as some people call it. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Tony D. Trade with the Mafia on Femex. Now users can earn up to $8,800 in trading bonuses depending on your deposit size. So if you guys want to help support the channel as well as get some potential deposit bonuses on your trading account, go ahead and check those links in the description down below. We also have some Bing X links with some nice deals, as well as a few other things. Shout out to Cosmic Com, says it's not stealing when they do it. Yeah, shout out to Cosmic. Yeah, 100%. I take some money. She goes, you stole my money. And meanwhile, she just has like a free reign into the Frankie Candle's wallet here. But anyway, let's continue on and take a look at SEI, or SEEP, as I like to call it. Let's see. Let's take a look at the Coinbase chart. And here we are. I believe this was the last one we were looking at. And here we are, right? We had some significant resistance in this zone, guys. I remember looking at this the other day. Pretty wide range of resistance, right? We came from the high of the range all the way back down to the value area low. And then we got to bounce off the low. And, as you'd expect, you look to go to the POC where you got the rejection. And then now we're at the value area high. Now, and we did respect this monthly naked point of control as well, but we wound up popping right through it as Bitcoin cracked that $50,000 level. And now we're back at the high of the range, potentially looking for a bigger breakout. So what I'm going to do here, all these levels have been tapped and crushed through, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of them because they are no longer relevant, right? Or at least as of, not no longer relevant, but they're no longer as strong of a level as we were looking at. So I'm going to extend this value area to the right. And simply put, guys, I would still be looking at the same levels because as long as we remain inside of this range, this is the value area I would look to respect. Hold on, guys. I'm going to take my hat off, but I got to double check you guys can't see me. Okay, yeah, you indeed can't see me, right? I'm taking the hat off, guys. I got some crazy hat hair right now. It's looking wild. I would never let the Mafia see me like this. Hopefully my camera just doesn't spontaneously start working because you guys would be like, oh, my God, he's a mad scientist. But anyway, let's continue on here. These are going to be the key levels that I would be looking at. And what I will do here for SEI, yeah, it's going to be hard. This could be bullish consolidation, right? Take a look at the weekly time frame. Market Cipher has given us nothing. 3-day green dot printing, 4-day green dot printing, 5-day looking for a green dot. Yeah, these higher daily time frames, guys, are looking for some green dots. And you know what that means? It means that we could have some upside coming in very soon. So, and on top of that, you know, you could argue that this is somewhat of a bullish pennant, right? Depending on how you draw it. You could look at this as somewhat of a bull pennant, or, you know, you could draw it differently and make it look like something else. This is why I don't really pattern trade. It could be descending wedge or descending channel. But this does, anytime you get a big impulsive move to the upside and price starts moving sideways, guys, you know, this is, in my opinion, sometimes I would consider this bullish consolidation, right? Whether you have a perfect pennant or a flag or whatever, you know, this could give us a bigger break to the upside, especially with those higher time frame green dots. So these are definitely the levels I would take into account. So I'm going to mark this out as a value area. Go ahead and turn this to neutral. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab our horizontal ray, and we're going to go value area high, POC, value area low. And there we go. And this is simply, I mean, this is simply what I would be looking at. I mean, even if we pulled this to here, yeah, something I would keep in mind before, you know, if we don't just break out here and go higher, I would be cautious of a push up into that 786 before potentially getting accepted back into the range, right? So we're going to trade this range until it is broken out of, right? So like, just like the trend is your friend till the end, you could also trade the range until the end, right? So as long, and even on the deviations, right? Like you might think like, oh my God, we're breaking out. But no, remember guys, deviations above the volume profile are where you want to look for shorts, not where you want to look for random FOMO longs. And just to clear things up, I don't want people to get it twisted, because I say that, and you might be thinking to yourself to the last live stream saying, well, Frankie, you say don't long the breakout. Well, then why were you telling people that if they weren't in a long, this might be a good place to long? Because there's context, right? It's not that we're just deviating above the range. And, I mean, on top of the fact that we were looking for shorts up here, we just didn't get the confirmations. But there is a difference in context here. We were breaking into another value area and flipping another value area low to support. So, sure, we were deviating outside of this value area where you could look for shorts to return back into the range and come lower, but you came back up and hit that next level to the upside, right? And you held that to support, making it more likely for a move up. But on SEI, let's pull it back up. Right? On SEI, you are not necessarily, you don't really have another value area that's sitting here. If you did and you got a deviation, you could still look for shorts, but once you flip that value area low to support, you'd expect higher prices. It's all about context. There is no one answer fits all. There is no one strategy fits every single trade. You're always going to have different factors on all different trades, right? Like every value area trade is not always going to look the same, right? Sure, you're looking for shorts up here. You're looking for longs here. You're looking for longs here. You're looking for shorts here. You're looking for shorts here. You're looking for longs here. You're looking for shorts here. Longs here, shorts here. And you would have seen that this plays out almost every single time. But these trades are not all the same. This confirmation up here for this short is likely going to be much different than the confirmation you get down here for the long. And then these shorts are probably going to have different confirmations. It's all situational, right? And you also always have to keep the higher time frame sentiment and analysis in mind, right? So there you go. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's continue on here. This is what I'd be looking at on SEI, and to be quite honest with you guys, take a look at the 4-hour. Money flow starting to come back to the upside. So if you are going to break out, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag. Money flow is coming out, but you do have these bearish divergences, right? Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves into the key level of resistance. So you could get a cool off slightly here, but Again, money flow would indicate the longer-term trend, so eventually when you break out, this could be the time where we go for the higher prices. And then, I mean, really, the only other levels to the upside, in my opinion, if we come on over to the daily, above us is going to be this daily level right here, sitting at about 83 cents. So there you go. That's going to be the next key level to the upside if we break out. All right, let's see. Shout out to Felipe. Says, hey, Frankie, I'd like a hat, please. Well, shout out to Felipe. We'll smash that like button and leave a comment on the pre-record that we dropped. I don't know if this, I don't know what video we're using for the giveaway this week, but if you leave comments and hit the like on all of our videos, you will automatically be entered into the giveaways. All right, let's see. Shout out to Boots. Thank you for the super chat, bro. He said, shout out to Dave Digital. 2 hours till his birthday. Yo, shout out to Dave Digital. I forgot his birthday's coming up, too. Let's go. We got 2 hours. Start the countdown right now. Shout out to Dave Digital. All right, let's go ahead and continue. Dave, how old are you turning? Share with the Mafia. You don't look a day over 18. I'll tell you that. Looking young and spry, my friend. Shout out to Dave. I actually don't know how old you are, but if you want to share with the Mafia, please let us know. We like knowing all the personal details on the Mafia members. 68, I think Mark said. Shout out to maybe a Band-Aid. Let's see. Wait, why is everybody's birthday all mixed up? They just said 2 hours. Dave says it was Saturday. Shout out to Dave, bro. Happy birthday. I wish you could see my face. I'd like to see you face-to-face for your birthday, but shout out to Dave. Bro, we love you so much. You're such a big part of this community. It's insane. Happy birthday for real, bro. I hope you have the best day ever. You deserve it. You are definitely you're definitely a special part of this community, brother, and I appreciate you for tuning in all the time. Happy birthday. I don't care if you're turning 30, 22, 40, 80. I don't care, bro. Shout out to you. You're the man. Shout out to Mark Dutch said, have you ever heard of turtles? I have heard of turtles before. Should we get Dave a turtle for his birthday? Shout out to Dave. But let's go ahead and continue. 48. Is that real, Dave? I can't tell. It's like, I don't know. I'm never going to be able to, no face, no case. Shout out to Mr. Terps. Shout out to Dave. Yeah, actually 48. Let me know. Let's see. Yeah, you got to shoot the hand cannon fan at the yes, absolutely. You guys can hear it. All right, let's continue on. We will take a look at Chainlink, but first off, let's take a look at AVAX, and then we'll take a look at Chainlink and Ordi. And here we are. Okay, so Chainlink guys, AVAX guys. Honestly, we're kind of in the same situation that we were in before, but we are just simply approaching the area that we thought we were going to approach, and we are just on our way there. Interesting kind of wonked out potential head and shoulders. I'm not a big head and shoulders guy, but yeah, I guess let's see. I'm not even going to mark it out perfectly, but yeah, could be a potential like wonked out head and shoulders here with a wonked out neckline. I don't know, guys. I don't trade patterns like this, but if this is a head and shoulders, it would break you out to the previous highs, getting you close to that value area low. However, I would definitely just use the context of those volume profiles to give us that next likely target to the upside. Let me go ahead and extend the lines to the right here so we can, yeah. So key level of resistance is what we are smacking our head on right now, which is the value area high / golden pocket confluence sitting right here at about $40. Or I should say $41. But basically, guys, what I would like to see here is a break above this 786 and then a break above this value area low, and that is where we are likely to see the more upside for AVAX. But as of right now, you have some work to do. You got to get above the golden pocket value area high and above that 786, and then we can attack that value area low once again. But again, a lot of these altcoins, guys, are in the same situation where they are either knocking on the door or climbing their way up to knock on the door of these value area lows before filling the rest of the range up to the high and the POC. Simply put, I don't really want to beat a dead horse here. Like, this is what we're looking at. Money flow on the daily looking pretty gross, to be quite honest with you. Straight coming out here. We came back into the red, we came into the red, back into the green. VWAP is coming down. This may be able to drag you back into the red. If this is a significant red dot, I mean, we are a little bit overbought here on the daily as well. If this crosses into the red and gives us a red dot and that money flow comes back into the red, I would be careful of a move to the downside. And very similarly to a lot of the other altcoins that we just looked at, we could be putting in those 4-hour bear divs on the 4-hour, obviously, right? If we push up to that golden, that value area high, could be a higher high with a lower high on our momentum wave, giving those bearish divergences to let us know that we could cool off. And depending on where we are within the context of this range, it could let us give us some serious insight into where price is likely to go next. So that is basically what I'd be looking at on AVAX. Value area high coming in at 42.94, POC coming in at 36.05, and your value area low coming in at 33.82. So there you go. Now let's go ahead and move on to, we will check Chainlink, but let me go ahead and check Ordi and see what we could do there. I forgot who asked for it exactly, but we got you, brother. Hopefully you're still in here. Let's see. Rob collected the votes, tallied them, and wrapped the gift. Dave Digital, that's all I can say. Shout out to Crypto Billy. I believe DD is a reference to Dave Digital. But what I'm calling Dave today is BB, not DD. And that's not BB as in baby. It's as in birthday boy. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's go. Man, I don't like not having my camera on here, guys. This is brutal. Should I try and hook it up one more? Should I try and hook it up one more time here? Should we give it another go? Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Come on. Virtual camera? No. Come on. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's never going to work, guys. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue on. Dave, Dave to the second power. Let's get it. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out Ordi here. Let's go ahead and clear the drawings and see what we got going on, right? Let's see. Let's pull up the daily time frame. I'm actually just going to pull this range. I know it's a little wonked out, but it's the most context we can get. Actually, you know what I will do? I'll come down to the 4-hour, and I'll actually pull the cleaner ranges, right? So I will pull this. That's one range. This could give us more insight. So what I would look at this as is value area number 1. And I may actually move these ranges slightly, but just to start off, value area number 2. Bada boom. So there you go. Let's see. Shout out to Butts. Oh, wait, hang on. Shout out to Retro Mike. Said all Dave wanted for his birthday was 1 COQ and 2 ticker sign BAWLS. Got to make sure I extrapolate or prolong these ticker signs. Shout out to Retro Mike. Thank you for the super chat. And Dave, I hope you got what you wanted for your birthday. And shout out to Butsinator. Is my $1,000 Solana along with 40.20x leverage okay with a liquidation point of 109.48? Shout out to Butsinator. 40 point. What is? I'm confused. Maybe you. Hang on. Is my $1,000 Solana long is 20x leverage okay with a liquidation point of 109? Shout out to Butsinator. Thank you for the super chat. I don't understand 100% what you're asking, to be honest. If you let me know in the chat, you don't have to super chat again, but if you just let me know in the chat, I will try to snipe it, or it may be Crypto Billy or Rob or one of the mods, if you guys can just highlight that so he doesn't have to. Oh, 40x leverage. It shows 40.20? Interesting. Okay, yeah, $1,000 long 40x leverage. Is my... yeah, shout out to Butsinator. I don't know what you mean by is it okay with a liquidation point of 109? Like, do you think, like, is it going to be safe? Will you get liquidated? Let me... I will take a look at it in a second for you, brother. After this, we will try to take a look at Solana, and I will try to give you my input on that. But these are the 2 value areas that I would be looking at on Ordi's, guys, or Ordi. Let me pull that to here and pull this up here. So did slightly move. Okay, so yeah, if we do wind up continuing to the upside, guys, these are going to be the key levels. These are going to be the key levels, right? So this value area is going to be zone number 1, and then this value area is going to be zone number 2. Bada boom, bada bing. So there you go. So you can see POC respected, just front ran the value area low, breakout, retest on the POC, full breakout, and now we are back within the range. So at this moment, guys, I would be looking at this as our current range, right? So if we come back down, key level of support is the value area low at $67.51. And then if you're able to hold above it, your next target is going to be POC at 74.37. And then if we continue up from there, it's going to be the value area high at 77.51. And other than that, that's basically what I would be looking at on Ordi. Other than, daily is looking the same as everything else. VWAP coming to the downside. Money flow kind of bing-bonging around. 12-hour money flow coming up. 10-hour fresh money flow crossover into the green. 8-hour fresh money flow crossover into the green. 4-hour bearish divergence. It looks exactly the same as all the other altcoins as far as the TA on Market Cipher B. But as far as levels, I would look, even if that 4-hour bear div gives you a pull down, I would be looking for support on that value area low. So there you go. That is Ordi. All right, let's go ahead. I'll take a quick look at Solana right now, and then we will go ahead and what was the other one? What was it? It was a super chat, I believe. I don't know. Guys, what was the other alt? I think that was it. Okay, so there we go. All right, taking a look at Solana. Liquidation at 109. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so he's got a long with a 40x liquidation point of 109. Is it a short? Why? Hang on a second. Oh, okay. Yeah, guys, Solana. Shout out to anybody who was watching these live streams when we were coming down to this value area low. If this thing breaks out in a big way and we flip this value area low at $133 to support, this is where we can see a much bigger move up for Solana, potentially into the multi-hundreds. However, shout out to Buttsonator. I will say this. Liquidation point at 109. I would say this. It's impossible for me to know if you are 100% safe. So I would just go the safe route and say you are not 100% safe with your liquidation point at 109. Price could easily just kind of snap back down, and it really depends. But I will kind of tell you what I'm looking at here. This is it looks very similar to everything else. VWAP on the 4-hour is rolling around, right? Rolling over. So if we get that red dot on the 4-hour, you already have your higher highs on your price action and your lower highs on your momentum waves. So this would be a potential call for a push to the downside. Now, will that break 109, that pullback, or not? It's hard to tell, but what I can do is pull this fib. Let's assume this is the top, right? If we wind up pulling back here, your golden pocket retracement is down at 107, which is also very confluent with this value area high that we have here, this previous value area high. So naturally, let's say this. If I were looking for a long right now, what I would be looking at is probably either a retest of this golden pocket at 107 or a retest of this golden pocket at about 109. So I would say, as a liquidation point, I would just be very careful. There's no telling for sure if you're going to get stopped out or liquidated, etc. I would set a stop loss if this is not an amount of money you're willing to close at. Like, if you're not willing to lose all the money in that trade, I would definitely set a stop loss. But naturally, if I were looking for a long, I would hope for a pullback to this golden pocket 786, which is essentially at your liquidation zone. So again, I can't really say if you're definitely going to get liquidated or not. But I would be somewhat cautious of this 4-hour bear div. The 2-hour, not really printing the bear div just yet. Let's check the 1-hour. Yeah, 1-hour bear div, red dot about to print. Yeah, kind of hard to tell here on Solana. Let's see. Shout out to 12 Big said, how's ETH looking? It's edging to that $32 high. Or hang on. Shout out to 12 Big. Wait, $32 high. Shout out to 12 Big. Oh, I was going to say, I was like, dude, what? Ethereum Classic. I'll try to take a look at it for you in a second. Dude, you got me twisted for a second. I was like, hang on, am I tripping? No way Ethereum already got to 3,200. But there you go. Shout out to Butzinator. Hopefully that helps you out. But yeah, I would be cautious of these bearish divergences with money flow coming out. 90-minute bear div looking to print as well with money flow coming out. I don't want to sound super bearish either, right? 30-minute money flow just crossed into the green with a fresh green dot on the 8 hours, so not super bearish or anything. But I would probably be watching this like a hawk if I had a liquidation point at $109. So yeah, kind of hard to say. But I'd be careful of these bear divs. If it does pull back, this is the area. This is the kind of support level I'd be looking at. All right, so I'll actually turn this blue. This would be the kind of support level I'd be looking at. And then really, you know, if you continue up, next key target's going to be the 786 at $115. So shout out to Butzinator. If you do get it to $115, that's probably going to be a big TP for me if I were taking that trade. All right, let's see. Jay Gilly said someone's not sleeping tonight. Shout out to Jay Gilly. I'm happy to do it for the Mafia. But real quick, guys, let's go ahead and check Ethereum Classic. Real quick, creeping towards that $32 high. Yeah, I mean, if we take a look here, taking a look at the daily, very similar to Bitcoin. VWAP kind of meandering around here. Take a look at the 12-hour money flow. Kind of unclear on the indicators, if I'm being quite honest. But very similar to everything else. All the alts look exactly the same. They're all about to put in this 4-hour bear div. Now, again, I'm not bearish, right? I don't want to sound like I'm bearish. But this could likely give us some kind of a local pullback if we do wind up confirming that. So keep that in mind. But other than that, let me give you some key levels there, 12 big for ETH Classic. And to do that, let's come up to the daily. And then, of course, none of this volume is going to load. Bada boom. Okay, so, yeah, I would be looking, I would essentially be looking at the same levels we've been looking at. Once you get up to those highs, next target for Ethereum Classic, next major level I would be paying attention to is going to be at these yearly highs, approaching that previous value area low. And again, just like all the other alts, flip these to support, look for a fill of the range high, right? And then the POC would obviously be in the middle of that. But as far as, everything else, thanks, Mrs. Candles. Oh God, what? She's like sleep. Mrs. Candles just sleptwalked into the studio. She just walked in with her hair in front of her face, and she just gave me this weird contraption. You guys can't see the camera, so I'm not gonna tell you what she handed me because I feel like there's gonna be a bunch of some kind of emoji in the chat. But shout out to Mrs. Candles for bringing me air. But anyway. Those are going to be the next levels I'd be looking at on Ethereum Classic. Other than that, looking very similar. I would just watch these 4-hour bear divs on the alts for a potential pullback. But again, I wouldn't really be necessarily looking for the biggest dump ever. I'd be looking for a pullback to higher lows before continuing to the upside. Shout out to Dave Digital with the oxygen emoji. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. But guys, with all that being said, this is weird because I'm not cutting to the face camera. But with all that being said, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Bitcoin breaking that yearly high at 50K. Super, super exciting. Can we continue higher and hit that next target at $50,726 or even that 54.4 level at that Bybit value area high? Can we come up to hit these levels? Oh, daily candle closed. Let's see. Let's see. Daily. No red dot just yet on the daily close. However, can we see price rip up to our next target, 50,776 or 54,467? Only time will tell. But like I said, I am simply holding my long positions and waiting for these targets to get hit or just waiting for price to kind of figure itself out here, give us some kind of range so I can reassess the situation and see if we could find a better short position. But other than that, simply holding my longs, guys. May take a little bit more profit as we get off the stream here, but going to be holding these, see if we can hit those higher targets. And again, if not, we will reassess the situation and find that next trade and where that next play is. And with all that being said, shout out to Dirksay. Said Link is the one you forgot. And if you stick around for the Frankie fake out, you never know what's going to happen. That's all I say. That's all I'll say. Shout out to Dave Digital. Happy birthday to Dave and Rob. With all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. Right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm pointing my hand at the camera like you guys can see me. But that's all the time I got. See you tomorrow. Same place, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve. Shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect. Let them watch me elevating. Got them nauseous cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and whoo. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Woo. Watch out, set it up. Bet you I shut it down. Watch out, get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner. Got a finger run up in on a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the winner about the cage. I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Shout out to Jesse Ray saying the daily could print that red dot. Kind of need to clean out Biddy anyway. Punish the leverage so we don't carry. Whew, Tony D, if you just saw what my computer just did not on camera, it was on one of the other screens. I don't know what is. I've never seen a computer do that in my life. Anyway, we got an IT meeting after this, guys. But shout out to Jesse Ray. Says we got to clean out that leverage potentially so we don't carry all the high leverage too far up. Absolutely, Jesse. That is kind of similar to what I'm looking at. However, what I do want to take a look at here is Link, which, guys, simply put, right on schedule as a few weeks or maybe a month ago at this point, put out that chain link update video where we were looking for a potential breakout of this sideways range, reclaim of this value area low, and a push into further into this range, potentially targeting the next price, which is going to be this next daily point of control at 22.31. And then if we're able to flip that to support, that's where we look up towards this weekly naked point of control, sitting at 26.55. And that's it. That's quick and dirty analysis on Link, guys. I mean, not really too much to break down here. Simply just seeing Link do what we wanted to, breaking above that value area low and headed up towards these higher price targets. So, with all that being said, Mafia, thank y'all for tuning in and sticking around to the end of the stream. That's all the time I got for tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Hasta pasta, Mafia. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, man, we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on a roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the